Hi, my name is Bill Denby. I'm the Vice President of Product Marketing at Texas. Welcome to another Texas in Conversation. In this interview, we're going to be speaking with supply chain professionals from Capacity. Milind Jadhav, a Director of Analytics and Supply Chain Systems, alongside Ed Shapiro, who's a Director of Engineering. Capacity is a trusted leader in e-commerce and order fulfillment, and a long-standing Texas customer. And Capacity really is a great example of how a distributor leverages technology to create processes that are unique to their supply chain warehouse operations. And also I've invited one of my colleagues, Kadar Mohammed, he's Business Solution Architect at Texas, to join us in this conversation and get his insights into what trends distributors and 3PLs can expect to see in the next few years. So let's get started with Capacity and how Capacity is utilizing technology. Thanks for joining me today. Milind and Ed, can you tell me a little about Capacity and the role you play in your organization's supply chain operation?
Hello, Bill. It's good to see you. Hey, Kadar, how are you? Capacity LLC is a third-party logistics company. We have over 100 clients across various retail sectors. Capacity has 1 million square foot of warehouse space, majority of which is in our New Jersey campus, where Ed and I am based out of. We also have presence in California, Chicago, and UK near London. Our clients are from various retail sectors. We have strong presence in cosmetic industry, skincare, and hair care products. We fulfill orders for our clients in B2C, B2B, and omnichannel verticals. I have been at Capacity for almost 5 years now. I work as a Director of Analytics and Supply Chain Systems. My team includes system admins and data analysts. My team helps me maintain and improve our systems and provide data analysis and visualization for our internal stakeholders as well as our clients. Ed, do you want to go next?
Sure. Great introduction. As Milind said, Capacity is a third-party logistics company offering omni-channel fulfillment solutions, so all well covered there. Specifically on the engineering side, I have been with Capacity for just over 6 years. And I remember, first implementing Texas WMS way back in the day, and seeing as it's grown and our use of it has increased significantly over the years. And from the engineering team, we're responsible for the design and implementation of warehouses as we build and set up new facilities across the country and around the world, as well as operational excellence, making sure that we have the best-in-class processes out on the floor and even some pricing as well.
Very cool. Thanks for the introduction. Kadar, tell us a little bit about what role you play in Texas and how you work with Capacity.
Sure. Thanks, Bill, for asking that question. My name is Kadar Mohammed. I'm the Business Solutions Architect at Texas. In my role, primarily what I do is speak to the base customers like Capacity and a few prospect customers and understand their business requirements and try to guide them towards the most optimal solution based on the Texas suite of products. That would be my introduction, very soon.
Very cool. So Capacity is an organization we've worked with for a long time, and I know that they're very focused on their customers and applying technology and best practice supply chains to satisfy your customers. You must have an overall vision. Can you tell us a little bit about what your technology vision is and what steps you take to follow that vision towards reality?
Sure, Bill. We have a proven model of network of integrated supply chain systems. Our homegrown order management system, Texas warehouse management system, pick to light, put to light systems, as well as print and apply and Tableau data visualization are some systems, to name a few. We constantly enhance these systems and the integrations to meet challenging needs of our business. Texas WMS, for example, we have been using it for around 6 years since Ed joined Capacity. We recently took on a project to upgrade our WMS version from 9.1 to the current version, which is 9.9. The version 9.9 is going live in early March 2022. Over the years, we have modified the systems to meet our unique needs. We have so many clients, and as you know, each client's requirements are a little different. A lot of talented Texas resources, including you, Kadar, have been very helpful in coming up with creative solutions to meet those requirements from our diverse pool of clients. The vision with the WMS upgrade is to keep building on this long-term partnership with Texas. One thing we learned over the years is how easy Texas Itopia framework is to learn and use it to come up with creative solutions. Kedar, I know talking with you a lot of times, you have always promoted the idea that Texas clients have their own internal Itopia champions so that the clients can find creative ways of using Itopia framework to further enhance the end user experience and make their processes efficient. We took this advice and we now have a couple of our internal resources trained in using Itopia framework. My team actually delivered 3 solutions to some complex problems using Itopia framework in just last year. And we will continue to enhance the user experience and come up with new tools to help us serve our clients better in future.
Interesting. So the third-party logistics landscape is always changing. It simply customers' demands continue to evolve and grow, and you use the technology that you have to continue to adapt and stay not just competitive, but really market leading. And you use this platform that you work on to add value and increase customer satisfaction. Can you give me any sort of examples where you've worked with Ed and with Kadar to build some kind of value added feature or service to satisfy your customers?
Yeah, sure. Actually, recently, our one of our clients, major clients, had a very specific requirement about the performing their physical inventory, and that particular request had its own unique challenges. We engaged with Texas to figure out a feasible solution on how Texas can help in going about and solving that requirement. When we all did a brainstorming session, Kadar and Nicholas from Texas TS team had some really good ideas to create the physical inventory tool using the Itopia framework. We took this opportunity to actually work with Texas in a workshop kind of setting to also use that opportunity to train our internal resources. Nick, who worked with us on this project along with Kadar, gave us some homeworks to complete for the next workshop. And that helped us put our learning from the workshop to test right away. With just a couple of new tables in Texas database, a bunch of Itopia views, and Itopia rules, we were able to create a very simple to use solution to this very custom complex requirement from our client.
That's really cool, Milind. Thank you very much. I know, and I think I'm going to direct this one to Ed. On the topic of technology innovation and how you continue to adapt your technology, I know you've been utilizing automation, and you mentioned your pick to light, put to light, cart and mall kind of processes before. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing on the floor around automation and continuing to evolve that from the engineering side of that in your warehouse.
Yeah, Bill, sure, I'd be happy to. So there are many different types of automation. Automation in nature is to convert something from what may have been manual or semi-supported to, having it be fully done or completed by systems or other forms of machinery and equipment. So we have a lot of types of automation at Capacity, not just in the warehouse, although I will go through some of those examples. Some of the forms of automation that are critical to how we conduct ourselves as an operation and as a business are even on the data side. So a lot of work that Milind and his team are doing are critical to the operation because reports that we rely on heavily to run the day-to-day business that may have taken hours or days to even produce are now automated and available to us in almost real time with the use of the data warehouse that Milind and his team have built, along with Tableau, and also the data that is produced from Texas, for us to be able to make decisions in real time. So looking at automation, we see it within data and analytics, which is key for us. And then we also see it in the warehouse as well and in our facilities. So we have automated print and apply systems where we're able to ship orders and be able to apply the shipping label to the cartons autonomously through conveyance and other forms of equipment. We have some robotics that are going, some pretty cutting edge stuff, which we're very excited about. And we're always looking for new ways to evolve. There's a lot that's going on beyond our four walls that we have to be aware of in terms of labor and the changing environment that we're operating within, and also in terms of real estate. So with the cost of real estate increasing in some markets, we have to figure out ways to maximize the utilization of our facilities, and that's pretty common across the industry. But we do like to find, some of the best ways to solve these challenges.
Very interesting. Kedar, going outside of capacity, any sort of thing to add around automation and what you're seeing out there? What demands for automation are?
Yes, the demand is evolving and it is getting complicated with each day. Okay, so I mean, what I can say is, in my observation, in the past decade, most of the organizations were emphasizing on process improvements and improving the standard procedures and automation and robotics and so on and so forth. What we are seeing in the recent times is there are ways, like to improve the efficiencies in the warehouse, not just automation, but in adjacent in addition to the automation, there are several other things that our customers can do to improve the efficiencies in the warehouse. So what we see in the recent times is, in addition to having a complicated system that meets the standard operating procedures, our customers are also looking for flexibility in the systems to adopt to non-standard requirements or any new functionality that may come up at the request on their businesses.
Milind, one of the things we're seeing a lot in third-party logistics is labor, is managing labor effectively and understanding what labor's impact is upon your business. Do you do work around analytics around the labor component of your operation?
Yes, so we basically use all the data that is available to us. We recently also implemented labor management system. So all the data from Texas that is generated for Texas WMS that is generated for the transactions in the warehouse at all levels are fed into the LMS, as well as our analytics team uses that data to see how much time we are taking to fulfill an order of any type, how many like we have metrics like time per unit, time per order, as well as all the labor hour tracking is done at a client level, and we come up with client profitability and then try to improve upon that profitability as well by coming up with creative ways on making more processes more efficient and using less and less labor. Ed, I'm sure you can build upon this, like you are the one who basically comes up with more creative ways on automating stuff using more new systems.
Sure. Yeah. So I touched on it a little bit before. I think Milind did a nice job summarizing, some of the ways that we see the challenges with labor impacting the decisions that we make today. It's a lot on how to empower the employees to be able to do their best job possible. and giving them the tools needed to do so. If you go out and into one of the DCs and ask an employee to pick an order and you give them a sheet of paper with the lines of the order and saying pick 5 units of SKU A and 3 units of SKU B, you're only going to be able to achieve so much, and it does often just leave the team on the floor frustrated with the hoops they have to might have to jump through, or the hurdles over to be able to do what they come in every day to do. And so it's very exciting to be able to implement solutions to allow them to be able to do their job better and easier, so that when they are working for 8 hours a day, they have the best tools to do so, and that's either through equipment or software. But the labor situation in our environment is a very real one, and we try to deal with it in the most proactive way possible.
Okay, so let's have a quick round robin on what we're seeing into the future. Let's start with you, Milind. What trends, what directions, what do you think is coming up in the next 3 to 5 years when it comes to distribution and third-party logistics that's going to affect your day-to-day life?
In general, we see that the online order volume is going up every year, and COVID pandemic has just escalated this trend. This year, we have shipped over 10 million e-commerce orders. I mean, in 2021, we have shipped over 10 million e-commerce orders, and this was almost 3 times increase over what we did 4 years ago. While we feel confident that our systems, while we feel confident from system standpoint that we are comfortable with growing with this volume, Ed and his team has a lot of challenges on hand, as we were describing, labor challenges as well as space shortage in US. Ed, do you want to go over those?
When we look at the industry in general, we touched quite a bit on the labor end and how to really get the most out of the associates and the team members on the floor, or empower them to really be able to do the best in their jobs. But also, space is a real challenge, and so having the right tools to be able to analyze your use of space and be able to optimize it is key. So, in partnership with Milind, we have been implementing a device that allows us to take the dimensions of the products that are coming into the facilities and be able to better understand exactly how we use the space within using Texas WMS. We can plug in that information, and it can provide to us exactly when we look at things in terms of cubic feet, how many cubic feet some product might be occupying, and how old is that product, and how fast is it turning. So just like one might expect, the trend in the industry is that there are more sophisticated clients, there are more sophisticated customers, and therefore we have to be more sophisticated in providing answers and faster, and make more information more available. And so we look at all the different ways that we can provide that level of service to make sure that our clients and their customers have what they need in order to make real business decisions. Should they be purchasing more inventory? Should they be advertising or promoting to different demographics or geographical regions? How can they cut down on their shipping costs? These are all real challenges, but also what makes it all very exciting, and what makes it interesting as well for us to be a part of.
Yeah. Kedar, I mean, you see not just Capacity, but many other Texas customers. What are you seeing as regards trends for the next 3 to 5 years that are going to grow and change?
Yeah, we all know by now that COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted the entire supply chain industry, and the rising prices of real estate is also proving very challenging to most of our distribution partners in operating their business. Now, considering all these factors, what I see happening is an uprise of micro fulfillment centers along with macro fulfillment centers, but irrespective of the size of the warehouse, people would really like to have the visibility on the availability of stock, have insight onto their forecast, and be able to run their warehouses in the most efficient fashion. by bringing in greater flexibility in whatever application that they are using. And I think this is going to happen very soon, very quickly.
I think that from our perspective, the biggest change we're seeing is not really the specific changes, but the rate of change. It just seems like it's accelerating and accelerating and accelerating to a degree where you almost have to, get ahead of it before it even catches, because it's not doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. So, Milind, Ed, thank you very much for your time today. It's been really giving us some great insights, some great knowledge, and Kedar, thank you for coming in, and good luck with this journey. I think that, as I said, it's continuing to accelerate, so we wish you well with that. And for our viewers, thank you very much. If you need any kind of support on how best to leverage technology or take your supply chain operations from good to great, Texas is here to help. So at the end of this video, you're going to see an option to speak to one of our supply chain experts, or you may be interested in reading one of my blogs on automation and warehousing. I have one called How Not to Fail Before You Begin. So good luck, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.